it feels so good to be in the year of 2012, or sorry, I meant 2018. And just like in 2012, people are sleeping on East Oakland once again. This team, however, is better than that 2012 team, at least at the beginning of the season, not necessarily at the end. But if this team gets to my expectations this season, I will have a hearty laugh at everyone who has them finishing in last place once again in their start of season predictions. This lineup is by far the biggest strength to this squad when you have guys like Jed Lowry, Chris Davis, and Matt Olson, as well as Stephen Piscotty, Matt Chapman, Jonathan Lucroy, and then Dustin Fowler. You have a really good team, and that's not even mentioning Marcus Semien there either. Matt Joyce and Chad Pinder are going to be platooning, which, that'll be healthy for both of them. So this lineup gets a B+. I don't think it's the 10th best lineup like MLB.com does, but I do think that it's around top 15, top 17 in Major League Baseball, really top 15, but top 17 at the very worst in Major League Baseball. Now when it comes to their depth, they have some good pieces like Chad Pinder, Jake Smolinski, and then once these two come back, Renato Nunez, not really Josh Phegley, but Renato Nunez for sure. And then there's also Dustin Garneau, Steve Lombardozzi, and Franklin Barreto, and Jorge Mateo, who could come up this year. And there's Boog Powell, and Mark Canha, and Ramon Laureano. So pretty solid depth in their own rights. And I'll give it a grade of a B-. I didn't mention Bruce Maxwell because, at this point he's just a mess, and he's just not a very good player at that either. So B- in terms of their depth. If somebody goes injured, there's enough to accommodate for that. And so then when it comes to their rotation, I had them at a C starting this, but I think now it's a C+. Kendall Graveman and Sean Manaea to go along with Daniel Mengden, and if once AJ Puk comes up, it's only a matter of time at this point. It'll be an excellent rotation. Well, not excellent. It'll be a decent rotation, and it'll be more solid than what it already is. They did pick up a couple of other guys like Trevor Cahill and Brett Anderson to go along with the rotation in terms of depth. Not much there. But then, its rotation, as I mentioned earlier, is a C+. It's a C+ rotation to me, and I think it'll do enough this year to not have this team falter so much. Jarrell Cotton is out with Tommy John surgery for the entire season, but once Paul Blackburn returns, he'll be a valuable addition to this rotation as well. And now moving on to the bullpen, this is going to be key. This is going to be key to the A's not blowing a bunch of leads this year. Since Santiago Casilla is no longer the closer, he's also injured with shoulder discomfort right now. But this bullpen made some really good acquisitions. Ryan Butcher, Yusmeiro Petit, and Emilio Pagan. And then talking about last year, Blake Trinan and Chris Hatcher. And then there's also Liam Hendriks to go along with all of those guys that I just mentioned. But this bullpen is really good. It's really solid, I should say. And then there's Ryan Dull, who's out with shoulder discomfort also. We'll see how well he does once he comes back. But this bullpen gets a grade B. It's a really solid bullpen. Blake Trinan is an excellent closer. Well, he'll be a better closer than Santiago Casilla, and he won't blow 5 leads that hold this team from winning 80 games. So the bullpen is looking really nice, and so is the lineup. Two of the biggest strengths of this team, which all boils down to the rotation. And this roster, I don't know how I can't see how you can just have this team be bad again. This team is really good, and I see them doing well this year. I'll just go on record and say that I don't see how you can predict this team to have less than 85 wins when the only thing holding them back from winning no more than 80 games last year was Santiago Casilla blowing 5 leads. Now that Blake Trinan is the closer and the team is continuing to grow, this team should win 85 plus games this year. The lineup is really good and underrated, well, not so much underrated now, but the depth is pretty solid, and so is the bullpen. And although I see this team starting up that winning culture again, I'm not going to buy that this is going to lead into anything big into the future until Billy Beane and his puppet prove me that they are willing to make the right moves to take the team over the top. I know that Group 4 and Green Collar Nation will agree with me on this, and as of right now, this team is very good, and I see them just missing out on the second AL wildcard spot. The over-under is 80 and 82. Final prediction for me is 88 and 74, and second in the AL West. Let me know if you agree. Let me know why I'm a biased A's fan with my predictions. It is a predictions video, so I am interested to see what you guys have to say. If you have rationale, I will respond and we can have a little discussion in the comment section. If you don't, then I'm not going to take you seriously. But otherwise, that'll do it for this athletics edition of the 2018 MLB season previews, where I go over every single team, and so long.